we have to have a real start. We can't just start like that.
Sure we can.
Every time.
I mean, you don't have to start that way. Start the recording. So
This is behind the scenes footage, guys.
Cut that part out of the beginning.
Should we do I'm fucking for editing?
Stupid ass cat.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's only if we were recording sound and audio and video separately. All the clap is for is to help you log.
Yeah, all the clap is for is to fuck you, dude. I don't know. It seems official.
Well, yeah, usually you got that backwards. See, the clap usually comes from fucking, not the other way around.
I was trying to get to that point, but I couldn't think.
Fucking doesn't come from the clap. It's the other way.
Alright. Hello, friends.
What up, you bitches?
At some point,
What
he's
is
just
going
gonna
on?
fall asleep. Oh, not much, How's everybody doing? I feel slightly older than last week.
Word. I feel that. Fisherman Forever. Mac Miller's album came out yesterday. That shit's tight.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I
About
haven't heard it.
It's a pretty good goodbye.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
Word.
Mac Miller's fucking gay, dude.
Can you be dead and gay?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Aren't
can
you
be.
done
I
fucking
think you
now?
could be
No.
gay and then dead,
Hey.
but you can't be
No, dude, he was dead and then
and
gay.
gay at the same time, unless they literally buried you inside
You're
your
just in the
lover.
afterlife. Like,
I don't think corpses have a
They
sexuality.
buried Mac Miller inside of his gay lover, like on Star Wars when they cut open that fucking mammoth thing to get inside of it for
yeah,
warmth.
just
The gay guy was still alive. He's like, no, please, I want to keep living. Zink! Fucking stuff Mac inside
that's
of him.
awful.
that's what you get from fucking Jewish rappers.
You know? Just
He
ask
was a good
all
boy.
of the wives of the Beastie Boys. Or husbands. I'm not sure. Are any of the Beastie Boys gay? It would
make your joke a lot funnier.
Their name are the Beastie Boys, so I feel like at least one of them's gotta be.
At least one, you would think, right?
Because I feel like that's what you would call like a very aggressive top.
According,
Beastie Boy.
according to statistics, doesn't there have to be at least one gay Beastie Boy? I mean, statistically. There's like 6 of them. Right?
No, you're confusing the Wu-Tang Clan.
It's like
Boys.
Wu-Tang.
Okay, first of all, there's 36 members of the
Up from the 36
It's
chambers.
like Wu-Tang, but they're cheap, so.
Right.
we ain't paying all these niggas. Jiggery Jews.
Oh, that is very expensive.
Oh no, was he not here for the Jiggery Jew?
No, I don't think so.
What was okay? So I don't remember what we were initially calling a Jiggery.
Charlie
Jew.
was trying to say Diggery.
Didgeridoo. Didgeridoo. Yeah.
And then she's like, Jiggery Jew. And I was like, works.
That
we
is
keep that.
seems like a combination of a couple racial slurs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I like it.
Jiggery Jew. And then we, of course,
That's
that
like
led
3
to us.
racial slurs slammed into one.
Yep, sound like my woman.
You like slamming racial slurs into your woman?
That's how I'm going to start
No.
describing myself.
I like them
People
as
ask
3
me,
racial slurs.
Oh.
What race are you? And I'm going to start answering Jiggery Jew.
I needed. Never mind.
Because I could be a little jiggerish. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How couldn't you see the lights on it? Whatever.
It's alright, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
True.
I can't see it around the mic, so.
He wants to make sure that it's not obscuring his face. You know?
No, I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't look fucking tacky.
You know, the girls only tuned in to
Gay.
check this guy. They just flick the beam to
I
him for an
definitely-
hour. I'm sorry, we're doing it again.
I definitely, no, I started talking over you. That was my fault. But, I definitely got the word tacky from my mom, for sure. So it was a little gay.
What, the word tacky?
Tacky. I don't like these lights. They're tacky. Like, it just seems a little
It's a little gay.
gay. You know? Like, it's not like flaming or anything. It's just questionable.
The thing I like about that word, though, is like, not like when you see something you know, like, oh, that's tacky. Like, it's not often, but it's like, oh, you're wearing all one color. And it's lime something.
No, and they're all like kind of a different shade. Like you got all of them at a different time. You know what I mean? So they're like one's really washed, one's brand new. Like,
You mean every goth kid ever who has 15 shades of black on?
yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. If you're going to go with a single color outfit, it needs to be a single material and have been purchased as an outfit. And also, you should just never wear a monochromatic outfit.
Right.
It's tacky.
Church and bed.
Oh, monochromatic.
Tacky.
But no, straight. I mean, you don't know. Now that I think about it, tacky does serve a particular purpose. Tacky is what you call something that there's no good reason that it doesn't look good, but it just doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm. You just know.
Yeah, like scientifically, it should be appealing, but no, it's tacky. It's like you know, if like somebody goes super crazy with Christmas lights, you know, there's that line where at some point you're just being tacky.
Right.
Like sure, it's beautiful. Nobody's gonna down you for your Christmas spirit.
But like we get it. You like Christmas, dude. Like,
right.
Fuck off, man. I'm trying to sleep and your fucking lights are beaming
I always
through my
love the
windows.
dudes who's like, lights just stay. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. I put them bitches up once and that's it.
You get a wild hair up your ass to go
I just
hang
never
them all.
turn them on.
I met a dude
Right.
years ago in Orlando whose job, he like worked in the UK. He only worked seasonally. His job was to do Christmas decorations for fucking rich people. And like, what's her name? Sharon Osbourne was like one of his like biggest clients, dude. And she would pay him fucking fuck tons to come decorate her fucking house every year. He would literally work just from between like November, October-ish to December, and then be off the year.
Is this
so much fucking money?
Yeah, I just packed it
okay,
first.
No. I didn't know. I just want to make sure I wasn't the asshole holding up the rotation.
No.
If we haven't fired it up yet, then by all means I'll let it chill. But I just want to make sure I wasn't that guy.
I just kind of packed it just to have while if we wanted to.
Right.
Take a whole.
It's not the spirit stick. You know?
What to say?
Yeah, you don't say much back there. I think he should be our referee. That
My
should be
man's
your
hanging
official
on for
job.
life.
Just our off-screen morale right there.
Yeah.
It's like very on Chris Monroe.
No, honestly, you know, you watch a lot of these podcasts and you start to realize that a lot of what makes and I know this is odd to be talking about podcasts on a podcast, but
it's tacky.
But it's a little tacky.
That is a little
it's
tacky.
a little tacky. But I'm
fuck you guys, I'm not gay.
Because I don't think a lot of people realize. that almost all of these podcasts have a person off camera, and they're basically not only the cameraman, but they're the producer in a sense, where they're kind of being like, "Hey, you've been talking about this same shit for a minute. Move the fuck on." Or like waving one person down if they're getting a little hyped up. You know? Like most podcasts, especially group situations like this, usually have that one person.
Or in our case, it's just random hate speech.
Yeah. That's what we do. That's what we do here.
We just get drunk and then like say things that are just pretty deplorable. Like,
it's not that bad. I
Tell the truth. You learned that from Red Dead Redemption.
I've never played Red Dead Redemption.
He learned that word from Hillary, didn't you?
I also don't.
The basket of deplorables.
I also never played Hillary.
I've also never
Is that a
played
book or is that like a movie?
No, that was something she said in a speech that got a lot of media attention.
Dude, Hillary's so gay.
You listen to Hillary's speeches, gay.
No, it was on the news and everything. Although, yes, I have listened to it.
Also,
I'm excited,
but also
for us
like
to get
Trump
a
is
woman
gay.
president.
Like,
I want a woman
so
president
bad.
just so for the first time in my life I can like sexually objectify the president. Never been able to do that.
Well,
Never been able to do that.
I don't know. Maybe
We can
Obama with the right makeup.
Yeah.
I was just I was hoping that all Hillary wanted to do was just get a blowjob in the White House. Like this whole time, it's just been
She's just been
a
wanting to
revenge
get head in the
blowjob.
White
I'm like,
House.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I volunteer.
Let's go.
Ugh.
Best revenge
Hillary's
ever.
vagina has to smell so bad. Dude, just look at her. You like it's like, oh, you're
She wears pantsuits all the time. So
it's probably all
get
chafed
breathe.
and shit. She's got like 90 ingrown hairs.
Oh God!
Smells like illegal tariffs.
Why does it smell like Benghazi in here?
It smells like those. It smells like those Marines' dead bodies that you didn't save. You fucking.
Damn
cunt.
it, dude! And see. All right, see. I made the joke, and then you made it tacky.
I made it real.
Everybody understood what I meant. Damn it!
No, Sean did. Sean's lost.
Sean is completely. That has nothing to do with us. That has to do with his lack of sleep. He thinks he's in court right now. This is jury duty.
I Did you see what she was wearing? And you're like, Sean, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've been to jury duty, and I think one of the strangest things is the people that are very into it. There are some people that are like so honored to be there, and like
that's somebody that has no power in the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh,
No,
I get to
absolutely.
fucking put this guy in jail for the rest of his
Yeah.
life. You know, like hell yeah. Oh, that's
At jury duty, I've
gross.
been twice, and the only time, all I've thought the entire time was thinking of ways to get out of it.
Mm.
Is like, how can I, when I go up on the stand, because here's the thing, here was my thought process, is if I go up on the stand and I try to sound too stupid, maybe that's what they want.
the jury doesn't go on the stand, bro.
well when they're selecting.
No, when they're selecting the jury, you're right. Going on stands the wrong term, but when they're selecting the jury, they're asking you questions. I really thought hard about how to play it to get eliminated.
Oh,
I only did one, and I was doing the same thing, but now I kind of regret it because I realize now. I never really told anybody this. I realize now that when I'm looking at so the case was this dude got robbed by some dude in his neighborhood. So he went back to go get his shit because he broke into his house. His wife was there and shit. Went back to go get his shit. Dude didn't want to come outside. He ended up shooting. Some little girl got shot. He got charged with murder. So anyway, in my humble opinion, I feel like the dude who started all this shit is the person who needs to be in here on fucking trial. The dude who initiated breaking in with my fucking wife and kids there. What the fuck?
I wouldn't have been over at your fucking house.
I wouldn't have been at your house.
So
Anyway.
the guy. Wait. I just want to make sure I'm getting the story right. So the guy who lived there, who tried to shoot the robber and accidentally hit the little girl.
Well, he went to the robber's house and so he retaliated. He wasn't home at the time, so it was a retaliation. But I'm like, I feel like the person who starts that, the instigator, should be like, there should be something going on with him too.
There
like,
should, yeah.
But anyway, I remember being there. I was like, I just want to get out of this. So I found my way out of it. But I'm like, damn, I'm probably one of the only fucking people in that room that could have related to you at all.
Right.
That could have fucking had any sense or any objective fucking thoughts about this trial at all. And it's like, I remember when I canceled myself, I remember his prosecutor looking at me like, and I was like, why did I get that look? Then years later, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm the only other young urban fucking kid there. Everybody else is way out of this demographic. They don't understand this shit at all.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, I just left you fucked.
Well, yeah, dude, it brings up a great point. That could be a small factor in an issue like why there's such imbalance in our criminal justice system.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not nearly as big of a factor as shit like police, bad police and the people who actually work for the system. But yeah, most young people like us, it's the same issues with voting and stuff, man. The biggest voter turnout is not people under 30, and it should be. It really should be because there's.
Fuck that.
Oh,
They're the
definitely.
dumbest motherfuckers out there, dude. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck do you know about life if you're under fucking 30? Seriously, you've been fucking called by your goddamn parents.
Government is
your
all
whole
about
fucking life. No,
progression.
seriously. You don't even get, honestly, how many people under 30 really get into fucking politics and fucking look at the policy
Politics
and how
are
shit...
gay.
You're fucking gay, dude. Eat a bucket of fucking dicks. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude.
Politics
You
are
just
so
fucking go
gay.
along
Keep
for
going,
the fucking ride.
keep. I want to hear what you were saying. Keep
Yeah.
Keep
it right.
Most people under 30, they don't know shit about policy. They don't know how the fucking world works, how global economy works, and they're just along for the fucking ride. Honestly, it's people that have been watching shit go down for fucking years and years and years and saying, this shit's been done so fucking wrong so many fucking times that finally they say, I need to get on board with somebody who's got the presence of mind that's going to say, you know what, we need to fucking build the economy, we need to set up a global economy, how we fit into the global economy.
They need to make
and
money.
I do too. But with the younger people, it's all about, a popularity contest.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, Bernie Sanders is going to give us free college and
Now to
ain't
chime in
nothing
really
in
quick.
life for free, man.
Now to interject, I think what you meant, because I agree, is more kids under 30 should be paying attention.
Yes.
Should be
They
involved.
Yes.
Should
They
be,
should.
Now-
they should.
But they're more
not.
interested in this.
Now,
in this.
but here's something I need, because it's something that's been hard for me to accept too. Is when we were under 30, you're only a few years older than me. When we were under 30, people our age were not into politics. These kids these days pay a lot more attention to that shit
I think
than
they
we did.
act like they
Yeah.
do, but I don't know.
I think it's
really
the
don't.
cool
Right.
thing to do now.
No,
I mean, because he's
you know,
under 30 and he just
this-
said politics are gay.
this is-
so
okay,
Right.
This is what really happens
He's
with
a
people
nihilist.
with my
so, I mean,
in my generation. People that are into politics, they share a fucking now this
Your fucking
or
generation eats Tide Pods, all right?
Let me finish. The
It's not
fucking
that young.
no, that's like fucking 13-year-olds. I got 10 years on. Anyways, fucking my generation, they share like a fucking now-ish Washington Post article and think that they know what they're fucking talking about.
That's true.
They go to whatever media outlets that support their already general idea, and then they subscribe to that, share that, and that just solidifies their thoughts on that.
And that's a fallacy that we all have, is like we search for evidence that backs what we already believe or what our prejudice already is.
It's true.
That's why I try to like hear the opposing sides whenever I can, just because it's like you really don't know if you don't listen. You know? It's like, and it's like going to war. It's like, why would you not want to hear the other side talk? I never understood it about people. It's like, why would you not want to hear your opposing side tell you what the fuck they're doing? It's like the villain in his monologue. You listen so you know what the fuck he's doing, and then like you can handle it. Thwart that shit.
It's just to me. I think my not necessarily my generation, but at least a lot of the people that are my age that I associate with, I think a lot of people are starting to catch on that like all of this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like no president-elect really gives a fuck about you or whatever the fuck party they're running for. They're in it to make money. They're in it to cut their fucking buddies in Monsanto or fucking Shell a deal that kicks them back money. You know, it's like there's none of them actually care. Hillary didn't care about fucking gay marriage like 10 years ago. No. You know what I mean? Like Trump never fucking gave a shit about politics until it was going to benefit him.
I 100% concur. I think that arguing over politics is just us fighting over who has the best master. But also, I think that the thing is they're young kids, and remember when we were young and we were like, oh, you guys all fucked it up, and we know so much more than you. The only difference is nobody was listening to us. We were the same way. Fuck this system, this is bullshit. We were just like that, except nobody heard us.
Yeah, now we can't help but hear the fucking system.
You're right. Now the conversation's in there stomping, right? You know.
I actually saw a really funny meme the other day that I felt kind of portrayed a lot of people, not necessarily in my generation, but the generation behind me, the younger kids. They'll listen to a Rage Against the Machine song and think it's about their mom. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't think it's about the government. They're like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Like, it's like, that's not about your fucking parents that told you to go to bed. That's about like global oppression and like fucking horrible shit that the government does. And
how old are you?
23.
Okay, so you're like barely Gen Z.
I don't even know.
It's
I get called a millennial.
97
is the
97 is the
I was
97 and up. Okay, so you're the youngest a millennial can be.
But I think that's kind of an issue with like being able to get media from places you're not from. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you get these these records from somebody sleeping on Hollywood fucking Boulevard. I mean, you're in the suburbs in fucking Colorado, living fine, and you get to relate to that without anyone knowing or even be able to check that shit. And it's like, so you get to relate that to whatever the fuck you want, even though he's talking about some real fucking shit. You get to sit around and act like you're talking about some real shit. Right. But that's because we don't tell kids their pussies enough.
That's like rich kids being fucking like crust punks, like hopping trains and shit. Like. Yeah. Like, you can call daddy for money whenever you need. Like, that's why you're living this life, is because you need some sort of,
you have the resources available to you.
You're not going to fuck up the game. It's just like the kid, we all know the kid that sells drugs just to say that he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we robbed that kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But it's like, we all know that kid, and it's like, you're the one that fucks the game up, though, because you get caught 6 times, and then you want to tell on every fucking body. You know, like, you want to tell on everybody, because this isn't actually you can actually do this. We're doing this just to be cool. This is your game. It's like, yeah, dude. I'd never want to be young nowadays. I'd never want to be young. I can't imagine.
Dude, it changed when I was in high school. Because, like, when I was in high school, they used to check, for, like, freshman and sophomore year, it was like they would take attendance, like, first and sixth period.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this last time. Yeah,
Did we talk about this on the podcast
so everybody would just take off from second to fifth.
Podcast, but we did talk about it.
Okay, so, anyways, yeah, it was a lot more loose. There was a lot more room to get away with shit. Right. And then, like, they started putting cameras in every hallway. They started, making every teacher take attendance in every class. Like, there's little shit changes, and, there's no more fun to be had. You know what I mean? That's why kids log on to fucking Fortnite or whatever the fuck is cool at the time and do that, because, like, on there you can kind of, be whatever the fuck you want to be. and you can't.
I think
Like
it has something to
nowadays,
do with
everything's so
parents,
locked up. You
too,
know what I
though,
mean?
'cause I feel like they're so afraid of what the world is. Like our parents are like, yo, get the fuck outside and don't come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Their parents are like,
There's
oh,
like
well,
a-
as long as they're in the house, they're fine. There's nothing happening to
Yeah.
them, so they'd rather they be in that
Right.
house, you know,
Right.
Now,
than risk a pedo. Like whatever, man.
now
Dip and dive, bro.
drives me crazy.
Don't get diddled.com.
And you just brought up a great point with the cameras in the school.
Right.
Is what always drives me crazy is it's always the same people that if you say something about making it one step harder for someone to get a gun, they flip out about freedom and being oppressed by the government. They scream 1984 from the top of the roofs, but they're perfectly fine with their a bunch of cameras and metal detectors being stuffed everywhere.
Right.
So it's
As someone who went
it's
to a
that
very
point where I
dangerous
say
school.
you don't actually care about big government.
You just don't want
You
anybody to
just
step
don't
on
want
you.
nobody.
Yeah.
You just care about you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
Gotta be one size fits all.
exactly, and it's like so you're perfectly fine with your kid being under 24-hour surveillance, but you'll scream about government oppression if somebody says, "Look, we just need an extra day to do a more thorough background check before we hand you a weapon of war."
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to me.
Well, that's because that's you know, as the government is like that's the gateway. That's, you know, we passed this to say we can add an extra day. That day becomes 3 or 7, and before you know it, it's too hard to turn around.
It's
That's really what that is. I don't want no. Fuck you. Make it easier for me to get a gun. Fuck that.
It's one of those
Give me guns.
things-
I need Obama straps. Where the
Right.
fuck?
I mean, my thing is no matter how
Let me
many
get my
guns
first
you
strap.
have, no matter how many guns you have, if the government has good surveillance on you,
Mhm.
these dudes got drones, everything else. They ain't gonna let you start buying drones and bombs.
Mhm.
So what if all the M16s in the world will do nothing against 10 men in a room full of monitors and joysticks?
Well, yeah, but that's not.
Like-
Well, hopefully that's not what we're talking about. You know,
Well,
at that
it's
point,
just
at
I
that
always hear,
point,
I
we're
just
fucked,
hate
but-
that. I hate the big government
See,
excuse
but the thing is,
that people use against gun control. I hate that.
well, see, the thing is also is that, yeah, and we couldn't do anything against those guys in the fucking in the control room or whatever.
Unless we
But
got
the hope is that
unless we get to the control room.
the thing that I've heard a lot is that I don't think military would turn against.
I don't think.
I don't think you could. I don't think military because they're actually out there fighting for fucking freedom. I think the people that we would have to worry about would be police.
Yeah,
People that like that fake like, oh, I serve and protect. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that kind of thing. Like gung ho.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, these are the bad guys. We're gonna take their guns. Like that's
Yeah.
just like some middle-aged dude and his kids
Yeah.
in a fucking house. He just happens to have guns.
Well,
You know
what's
what
it
I mean?
like? 90% of the military comes from the lower and middle class.
That's
Like,
because
they're
they-
not going to turn against us to serve their government masters.
Anybody that
Like-
is not from the lower
Well,
class,
depends
there's
on how
no
they portray it.
incentive. There's no incentive for you to really join the military. It's like
Not
the
anymore,
military
no.
is like a good go-to if you're like broke and your girl's pregnant. You know what I mean? They'll give you free housing. Like it's
Or
like
depending on how you look at it, depending on what you want to do. You know?
right. Or if you want free schooling, or it's
You know, or to
But-
travel if you want a top secret clearance,
Yeah.
you can make a fuck ton of money after you get out.
Right,
shit
but-
like
It's
that.
excellent trade training.
But
Right.
to be completely honest, people who aren't lower class or middle class that go into it are going in with a specific goal in mind for a specific
And they already
job
know a
that's
guy.
really-
And let's be honest, most of
They're
them
doing a
are
thing.
only even
They're
going
doing
in
a
because
thing.
of a legacy thing.
Right.
Because my
Well, I
father
can't
was in the
speak for most of
military,
them,
or
but-
it's a Van
yeah, I
Houten
can't speak for most of them. I
family
have no idea.
tradition
Yeah.
for the men to join the
my
military.
great
That's the
grandfather's
only reason
grandfather
most
was in the
upper
Great Wall.
class,
I don't know that.
like
Honestly,
billion
don't
and
know.
millionaire families. That's the only reason they join is legacy.
Mhm.
You
But
know,
even nowadays, though, it would almost be stupid for you to join because, like, what happens if like shit kicks off and like you get
Right.
killed?
right?
Like, what happens to your money? Who's the predecessor to the company now? You
Yeah.
know, like
I mean, that's the same if, like, you know, what if you walk outside right now, shit kicks off. I mean, shit kicks off, shit kicks
yeah,
off.
but
If shit
they're
kicks
walking
off,
outside.
you know, all
is
I can
different
say
from
is
our
I will
walking
react.
outside.
Depending on what your job is.
I will react.
I'm saying for like
I don't know what I'll do.
Oh, okay.
Any
Yeah.
anyone who says they know what they're going to do in like an apocalypse situation, no, the fuck you don't. There's a zillion variables. All you can say for sure is all you can truly work on is are you going to react or are you going to be one of those bitches that hugs their mama and cries while the bombs drop?
I'm hugging my
Yeah.
gun, if anything.
But
I
see,
can
that's
tell
what I'm
you
saying.
doing
Are
that.
you
What
going
are
to
you doing when it goes down?
respond?
Grab my gun.
Are you
I know
going to?
that.
Yeah, that's
I know
it. That's it, and that's fine.
I'm
Because
happy
you
to
don't
grab
know
my
what
gun
you're
right
gonna do. I hate listening. You always hear these. You always hear these fucking these assholes who are like, oh, if it goes off down here, boy, I'm gonna do no the fuck you
I hate
die.
people who plan things.
You know,
Dude,
no.
so gay.
I'm
Planning
not
is
talking
so
about
gay.
somebody who says, okay, so I got this plan together for if the bomb drops. I'm talking about the guys, boy, I dare them chinks to come over here to Florida. We American rap. Boy, I kill me a zillion of them.
I do not talk like that.
You're quoting me when I was drunk. It's not fair. No, I'm saying.
But I'm totally that guy.
Quit quoting your dad's law commercials.
Russians come falling from the sky. You know, I'm not saying I'll have the high score, but like,
Right.
you're
I'm
not
gonna try.
I do. I'll beat you. I'll beat you.
I don't currently own a gun, so probably.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean then you can, you can fucking strong.
I'm pretty
you know, figure some
stabby.
shit out. Yeah,
I got
kind of
knives.
sharp.
I got knives.
Yeah.
I like.
That's all I want to do in an apocalypse is outlive my friends so I can talk shit whenever we meet back up. That's all I'm trying to do.
Whenever you meet back up, they're
Like,
dead.
damn, Sean, you died 2 days, bro. What the fuck, bro?
Awesome.
I told you not to go in there, bro. You just needed the fucking cigarettes, huh?
That'll be me. No, I don't know much about my death, but if it happens to come about for an apocalypse, all I hope is that I get to be that guy who's like about to die and he gets that one last bloody cigarette.
I hope to be that guy that gets to die and do that last one, but
I'm gonna kill me.
And then the explosion. Okay, just because I talk, like, it wasn't an imitation. I was just saying guys who say that.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's stupid to think that any of your fucking pre-made plans would,
Would hold up.
that comes
Yeah.
from being in
No.
various situations, though, because a lot of people do think they know what they would do because they've never been in situations.
Yeah.
And what's weird is like we live in such a safe country that it's like you guys don't realize like most of these people haven't been through like shit. They haven't seen shit hit the fan. They haven't like just all of a sudden there's a riot.
Right.
Like, or just fucking get punched in the face because there's some other mother. Like, they
Or
don't.
like your kid dies
or
in front of you, and
random
there's still
shootings,
people
exactly.
shooting, and
Yeah.
now you have to pick up your gun and leave your kid there, so your rest of your family doesn't die.
Right, they don't
know what I
know
mean?
what that's like.
When you don't know what you're gonna
Right.
fucking do in that situation, you might not even make it to that situation because you're one of the guys that got hit with the bomb.
Mhm.
Now all your guns and shit don't do you no good because you're already fucking dead.
See, I don't
You know
trust
what I mean?
anyone
Like-
until I've seen them respond to an unidentified gunshot. Like, when you live in the hood, you can tell when you hear that
by
gunshot
how
from a
it's
block
shooting, when it's
away.
shooting at someone, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
You totally tell.
Random gunshot a block away. Look how everybody responds, and you will see who
You'll know
might
soon
live and who gonna die.
You'll know
Because
soon
there's always
enough
that
when
one
you
dude
know
whose response to
what
a
random
gunshot
gunshots
is.
are. This is fucking Spring Park.
Yeah,
You
no,
always, there's always random gunshots going off.
See,
around
that's
here,
what I'm
dude.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, we were over there in Brentwood on the north side, and it was all the time. And I tell you, I used to laugh my ass off at my roommate at the time because whenever he would hear gunshots, dead ass serious, this was his response.
Stupid, get the fuck down.
Who sticks their head further up when they hear gunshots? You gonna die.
It all depends on what kind of gunshots.
No, there was
I
one
can tell the
time.
difference between shooting in the air and aggression.
Let me put it this way, because
Oh, in our hood,
Between
it was
shooting in the air and shooting at someone.
Let me
Yeah.
put it this way, because I've actually, I agree with you, but I actually have a real life situation that, pertains to this. We were at it was either a 4th of July or New Year's Eve party. They were setting off fireworks all over the place. That's the only thing I remember. But everybody was out front, smoking, hanging out, and all of a sudden I hear, pop, 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 pop. And I was like, that's not a fucking
Those are
firework.
firecrackers.
And I look across the fucking the parking lot, and there's a dude stepping out of his apartment, walking towards us, just firing in the air. And I was like, well, this guy doesn't seem very happy. So like, I'm gonna go inside. And I
It's a great
literally,
New Year for him.
I was literally like, yo, they're shooting. Get the fuck in the house. And they were like, no, they're not. They're fireworks. And I was like,
There's a guy right
there's a
there
guy with the
a
fucking gun, but they're fireworks. Fuck you guys, you're gonna die.
It's all special effects, man. It's all CGI these
his
days.
fireworks.
I literally meet, and there was a black chick
I have-
that like heard me say it and point at him, and we were both like, all right, fuck this, and all the other like fucking white chicks from
I
Fleming
have
and
a
shit
very
stood out there. I was like, y'all are gonna die, dude.
Dude,
Like,
I have a very
that was just
similar
to signify
story.
the beginning of the Ghetto Olympics 100-yard dash.
You empty a clip at the beginning of every event.
That's
Instead of
called
a single
135.
gunshot, they just empty the clip.
the crackhead.
And yell
Olympics.
random rappers' names. Little Biggie. Blah, blah, blah. On your mark. Get set. Tupac. Okay.
I
I have a very similar.
Gets all reggae.
Very similar situation. It was July 4th a couple years ago. I'm out in like Arlington area where I used to live or whatever. And I go out with this chick that lived in my neighborhood, and like she had like two daughters or whatever. We go out to go watch fireworks from like a bridge. Anyway, long story short, shit starts going down. Motherfuckers start pulling out guns, and they're like shooting one's shooting in the air, but they're like about to shoot at each other. So I'm like, oh shit, they're shooting. So like I let her know, and then before I realize it, I'm like 6 yards away from the children and the woman. And I'm like gone, like I'll holla, bitch. I'm out of here. I'm like, oh shit, maybe you should stop and go check and make sure that the children I left there.
No, man, the trick is you gotta blend in with the women and the
I'm like,
Keontae's in like a nun's outfit.
He's got like
We weren't even having sex. Fuck you,
Trick love the kid, just not your kids.
Fuck them kids, bro. If that's not my kid, I'm out. I'll run on their fucking heads to get out
See,
of there.
and I would have said before that situation, like, oh no, 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 I ain't saying shit.
See, you think that until somebody's pointing a
That's
gun at
what
you.
I'm saying. It's
And
like,
you're like,
before that, I would have been like, oh no, I totally,
exactly.
No, I wouldn't. You know, I know because I didn't.
I'm running.
Like I will. If the option is available, I feel like I will rescue somebody because they are an additional firearm.
Okay, if
It's one of
the
those-
option is available, I will shoot someone to save someone, but it's only so I can shoot someone.
It's like one of those.
I just
but
want to do some hero shit.
in reality, it's like you what they say on airlines. You have to secure your mask before you help others.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna. I hear gunshots. I'm gonna like start grabbing kids and run. You know what I'm gonna try to get to some cover.
I'm gonna check, make sure I don't have any
a
bullets.
stealing pedophile. Grab kids.
Chaos! My opportunity arises! And just start stealing kids.
Anarchy!
Bust a bottle, grab a kid, and run above my head.
Even
just
better,
run.
bust a
See,
kid,
you
grab a
got-
bottle,
All
and
right,
run.
bust a kid.
Preach.
Just pick up a kid and
Somebody
That's
walks.
on.
Somebody
bang
walks.
that little shit. Just
Somebody walks into the theater while you're watching the Lego movie, and you just with a gun, and you just steal off on the kid next to you and sprint. Bing! I'm hitting the bricks, bitch. I'm out.
I see what you did there. Lego movie hitting the bricks. Good job.
Ooh. I don't even think he knew that.
He didn't mean to.
I totally meant to.
Intentional. Aha! Intention is the key to opportunity.
Perplexing. Jesus fucking Christ!
You can call me Keontae. It's cool.
Fuck you, bitch.
That works too.
I'm a simple man, so just Lord will suffice.
Birmingham, please.
I would love that. I honestly, one thing that I'm envious of, like ancient European, well, I guess they still exist today, is titles.
Mm.
America, we don't have
Just give
titles.
yourself one.
Yeah,
You
I
can buy
kinda
them.
do. You can buy a title.
Yeah, I
All
was
you gotta do
listening
is,
to
like,
a.
rap ones.
I was listening to
Tyler, the
a.
creator.
That could have been ass motherfucker, bro.
You
Colonel
know.
Sanders.
He
was never a colonel. He just called himself a fucking.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
a duke is just a landowner in like Britain, I think. So you can buy like a 1x1 meter plot, and you can be a
And
duke.
be the Duke of 12th Street.
Yeah, it's literally like it's like they. I was listening to a fucking video where they were talking about it the other day, and like it's something that like apparently like trashy Boston moms get on their birthdays. Like I'm the Duchess. Like fucking horrible, dude.
You know, I'm not against it.
I'm not against it, but at least buy an actual plot of land. You know?
No. Don't need all that.
No.
Just need the title.
Just one spot.
Hey, but yeah, now that I know that, I will definitely start referring to myself
My name is
as
Wilson.
when I purchase a piece of land. From then on, I'll be the Duke of the 1600 block of whatever avenue, Pennsylvania, perhaps. Who knows?
Pennsylvania.
Nice. I see what you did there. That took a second. I get that.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm cool with that. Mostly because I know I'm on that bill somewhere. So it's
You
cool.
know, yeah, you're definitely be my Secretary of something or other.
Yeah. Put me a little low enough so that my scandal doesn't fuck with you.
You'd be like
'Cause there will be
Secretary
a
of
scandal.
like,
Oh,
there's
gonna
be a scandal.
like I don't know, Department of Housing, something, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That works.
you know,
Yeah.
something like that. Or agriculture. I don't know. What's one of the ones nobody gives a shit about?
Yeah, I can get 4 secretary blowjobs as the
Transportation.
Department of Transportation. You want to be my transportation secretary?
You don't want me to do that. I'm stealing all that money.
I don't care though.
Ducats.
That's cool.
God, the city would, some
I don't
people's
care.
cities would fall. Well, you know,
I,
I
honestly, I would be the best president because I think America needs a hard reset. So I would literally do
Shake
all
the
of the.
Etch-a-Sketch.
I would just fuck everything up. I would be one of those dudes like we're taking all the money out of all the things and putting them into diet soda or some shit
Did
like
you
that.
guys?
Now
hear-
everybody has to buy diet soda so our economy doesn't collapse.
I would just fucking. I really do. I think the country needs a hard reset. You know what? You know something I pointed out to me not too long ago is in both the 1820s and the 1920s there were epidemics. So the world is good for a good. We're due for a good epidemic this decade.
But I
or
think we need
yeah,
another
decade.
plague.
Honestly, yeah, the world could use a good 30% wipe or a good 50% wipe. You know, the population has literally doubled since 1980s. Since the 1980s, 3.5 to over 7 billion, almost 8 billion people. It's fucking insane,
Jesus, man. Well, I know it's not my fault. I've been pulling out, dude.
man. Right? I ain't got no kids.
Hey,
that I'm
y'all been
aware of.
busting inside women? Why the fuck we got so many people?
Right. I don't get that shit. All these dudes with these accidental babies. How hard is it? Pull out. I don't
Well,
know
I
what
mean-
camera is, but I want to look you in the eye.
It's not hard
Pull
to
out.
be worried about someone other than yourself. That's all. It's just caring about somebody other than you. Like you
Right.
don't think about the ramifications until like it's a thing. But then even then, still you don't think about it. You know, 'cause it's just like unintelligence. It's all really
It
all
is.
it is. Because
It's-
like I remember listening to a statistic and it's like more intelligent people are having less children because they're planning and timing. But it's like unintelligent people who don't raise their kids for shit. They just keep having because how hard is it to not raise a kid? It ain't that hard to not raise some shit. Like,
that is true.
It's
yeah,
the Idiocracy, that
and then
movie
they got
called
more
it.
dependents and shit for next year.
That's
Strawberry
right.
Quick and Philly Blanche. You feel me?
Dude, Sean's sleep, bro.
Yeah.
We're about 30, 40 years from President fucking
Terry Crews.
what was his name? Tostito Mountain Dew or some shit.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Seriously though,
So did you guys hear about this? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
pull out. That's all. I just
Okay.
coming is sick. I get it.
But coming on it back is not just
Yeah, man.
sick. It feels
Have
so
you ever
much better
seen a
when you
chick
leave
with a
them.
good facial, man, or a dude, whatever
Dude.
you're into? I don't care.
Clear
but
karma's tight as fuck.
just anything you find sexy, you will find sexy.
I
You're
just wanna
covered
say
in
this.
jizz.
I've never met a successful man who has left his children behind. That's all I want to say.
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the fucking truth?
That's it.
I
That
think
was-
chicks look way hotter when they look like a Krispy Kreme donut.
That's a bukkake. That's a little much.
You know, bukkake in Japanese just means with egg,
With egg, really? I've been.
and then we America'd it up.
We American.
Come on in, yeah!
Come on, all the things. So you know what? That makes so much sense because I can't count the number of times that I've been looking at a Japanese menu and seen the word bukkake and been like, whoa, no. And
All the cooks just
literally
come
just
out
meant
fucking
like
jerk
chicken
off on
with
you.
egg or some shit. You
Jesus
know?
Christ.
But did you guys hear? I can't remember the state. I was trying to look it up. But have you guys ever heard the story? There's a state that was founded here, and the way the state was founded was it was legitimately a free for all. It was you get here, you declare your land.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah. That
you-
was-
you get to keep it. It's yours.
It was
Whenever
like the
you
whole
declare.
frontier.
That
Yeah.
was like after the Louisiana Purchase, right? You
Yeah.
get
I don't
if
even
it
really
was
remember.
there was a stipulation though. You had to build a mile of roadway through it.
Mm.
They were trying to connect the coast,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so you had to build a mile of roadway through it, and you also had to have like a certain like plot that was for like gardening or some shit. They had a couple stipulations on it, but if you went out there and claimed a stake,
Yep.
it was your land.
That was everything
Did
west
you
of
say
the,
so?
of the original 13 colonies. Everything west of the original 13 colonies.
Excuse me,
was
my lord.
settled out.
Could I grab one of these?
By all means. By the way, thanks for calling me by my proper title, sir.
Gotcha, bro.
you
Speaking to existence. Tongue is mighty powerful, and I can.
know, it's all that Witcher.
Bet your
I've been
tongue is
playing.
mighty powerful.
You hear
fuck.
my lord so much playing The Witcher, it's great, man.
Ugh, I'm so tired of hearing about that show.
Dude, it's so
I haven't watched it yet.
so
Neither have I.
It's funny that like he goes, oh, that show, and I'm like, game. You know, like
yeah, right. I was talking
I'm
about
gonna
the
start
game.
saying that to people. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm like, oh, have you watched The Witcher yet? Dude, the game was better. Fuck the book. The game was better.
Yo, straight. Okay, so here's the thing. You see, they did it. The Witcher. Here's what I'm digging about it. As I've learned more about the connection between books, games, and show, is the games actually start like the first Witcher game actually picks up from after
It's
the
like the
end
third
of the
time talking about
novels.
The Witcher.
It is, but it picks up after the end of the novels. So
That's
the games unto themselves are a whole new extension of canon, and the games are fucking huge.
That's an amazing way to like take that platform, like to express that art, to go from book to, and trying. Obviously, you're gonna lose some fans along the way, but trying to lead people from that to that, 'cause
Right.
there's gonna be a bunch of people that read. They're like, "Fuck, I just want to know what goes on in this fucking story,"
Yeah, people eat up new information on canons they love, man. People eat that shit the fuck up.
Dude, like honestly, just like sometimes franchises or just like companies in general, their evolution fucking amazes me. Like I'll go like in a thrift shop sometimes and I'll see I found like a what was it, like a Sears radio, like a boombox that was like paired with like somebody who they make like Kyocera or something, like they make like cell phones. I'm like, dude, you guys went from making fucking boom boxes with Sears to like.
Well, the
throughout
same thing with
time,
Yamaha. They make dirt bikes and fucking keyboards. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like,
And then every once in a while you can find something really weird that's Yamaha, like a fucking Walkman. You're like, when'd you do that? Like what?
No, it's fucking crazy. You, my one that always gets me is going into, and you see Kawasaki TVs. That
Yeah.
one gets me.
Or like I love how much bullshit they got to sell us during the technology age. They sold us so much shit that was fucking obsolete as fuck. Like they sold us VCRs and then a machine to rewind the tape.
to rewind it. Yeah.
And you look at it now, and you're like, dude, in like 2 years that was nothing. It was the biggest thing right there. And it was like all of a sudden they were just getting.
They
Same
just
thing
put the
with-
ability to rewind in the VCR.
The answering machines. You always need an answering machine, and they built it into the phone, and then we got cell phones. Like,
Yeah. I remember the first time a kid called me, like one of my friends in the neighborhood called me. Guess where I'm calling you from? Your house? Nah, dude, I'm in the middle of the cul-de-sac. What? Oh, we got this new wireless phone. Blah, blah. I remember that phone call. Come down here, dude. It's dope.
I still remember being like, so.
I
Even when
remember,
it was cool as shit.
Yeah.
So.
No, see, I was definitely one of those kids that I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Because I remember, come down and check it out. I literally hopped on my bike and went down to that kid's house to check out a wireless house phone.
Mhm.
A wireless landline.
It had like 200 feet on it. You can get like 200 feet away from the fucking.
Yeah, and
The
then
outlet.
just got,
Yeah, then you'd be like at home before your mom got home and you like want to go outside and shit, so you have the phone in your pocket, you gotta be close enough to the house and shit. Hell yeah.
Yep. I thought that shit was the dopest thing.
I think being a kid, like when we were kids and before, was a lot better because you had to like, there was ingenuity. You had to figure things out. You had to like find out how to do things.
Right.
It's like, now, dude, you can just like order some weed online and make it like it's like you can go hit your fucking vape cartridge in the bathroom. Nobody fucking knows. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, we had to go
Get to
like
work.
make excuses to get outside. Like we had to actually come up
We
with
had
these
to
problem solving skills. You somehow get that message from your friends. You're like,
Yeah,
fuck, I
right.
gotta get outside. Oh, let me take out the trash or fucking fucking figure something out to go do it. It's like you don't have to.
Do you remember
figure those
before
things
you
out.
had a phone and you had to like call the weed man on like your buddy's phone or like the house phone? And, like,
Yeah.
all right, bro. So I'm gonna meet you by the
And
school
you
on the
gotta
left
be
side of the
there.
school,
You'd be
on the
there
bus
just
loop,
waiting.
and then you have to fucking walk all the way there, and then walk all the way back because he didn't come, and then you're calling him like,
and then
bro,
you
where
answer,
were
and
you?
you're like, where you at? And he's like, I'm in the cul-de-sac.
See back then though, your weed man at least weed man I dealt with, it seemed like back then a lot more weed man would like come to my crib.
Mhm.
Because they couldn't be as mobile back then. Because back then, the longer a weed man was away from his house, the more money he missed out on.
right.
So back then, like, yeah, all my weed men were always just come to my crib. Like, the first time I met a weed man who didn't want me to come to his house, I was like I'm out on the road and I'm like, I could just, shoot me the address. I could just
Swing by.
swing by real quick on my way home. Nah, dog. I don't like people know where I. What? I mean, I get it. I get it.
I get it, but I think
But that
I'm
blew
gonna
my
add a step
mind.
further than you think. Maybe weed isn't all I sell.
True. True.
And because when you're dealing with different addicts, it's different.
You don't want
behavior.
somebody to know where you stay. It's gonna be 3:00 in the morning, and
Right. No, that's true. Because as a pothead, if it's 3 a.m. and I might shoot a text because I won't ever
Kinda
call nobody
leads-
phone.
This kind of leads into the question I was going to ask, but it's kind of like whenever you ever look at someone and be like, why the would they? Like, why are you doing that? Like, why would like? It's like one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard was like a man's way of doing things in direct relation to how they think of them. So if you want to figure out why this motherfucker's doing that, what would make you do it? It's really that simple. What would make you behave like that? And it's probably something along those lines.
Wait, what made you say this though? Like, what do you?
Oh, because how he was talking about the weed may not want people to come to his house, but it's like
Why would
doing
you
things
want it?
Yeah, why?
is in
If I
direct
was in his
relation
position,
to how they think of them. So
I
like,
wouldn't,
all you
I
gotta
wouldn't
do is
want
think
people to
about
know how to stay. So, like, if he might have kids, you know what I
Right,
mean? You don't want people
exactly.
running up in his
Kids,
shit.
There's exactly
He
that.
might,
So
he
it's
might
like,
have shitty
you know,
neighbors.
those thoughts are gone.
you know,
You're like, why
never-
is somebody like
Cop
dude,
right
think
across
of
the
a
street
reason-
or something. You never know.
Think of a reason that you would do that.
Right.
And it's like it's probably you're probably pretty close.
Yeah,
You're probably
yeah.
pretty close.
He's probably in the
But that was
ballpark.
leading me to a question I wanted to ask you guys. What is this like best piece of advice you think you've gotten most specifically about yourself? But if there's something else, like cool. But
Actually, I got a piece of advice this morning that was pretty good. Says my mom always, Jake's mom always says, don't let your CHS get in the way. Can't have shit. Don't let you can't have shit. Not let you have fun. You know what I mean? Because like I just got this new place and like I was bitching about the landlords fucking with me, pissing me off, and all this kind of shit. I just called her to like kind of vent about it, and she was like, "Don't let you can't have shit, not let you be excited about
good problem.
this." You know what
It's
I
a
mean?
good problem. It's a good problem you're having. It's a problem, yeah, but a good one.
Yeah. No, it's because I'm moving up and I'm just stressed about it. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So
And
like,
it's a weird thing
Yeah.
to like ever shake. You know, it's hard.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
it's
because when you come from not shit, you know what I mean. You're used to not having shit, and then when you try to have some shit and it doesn't work out, you're like, I can't have nothing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
hard. Or
Like,
the having shit makes you uncomfortable because you're afraid of the times you're like going back to not having it.
and then when you do have shit, you're scared of losing it because you can't have shit.
So how
You
do
know
you
what I
change
mean? Get over it. Get
How
the
do you
fuck
get over
over it. You gotta. Well, addressing it is part of it. Because I've never really addressed that problem. You know, like I've never come to terms with. It's
And
always
actually, like stood face to face with it.
Well,
Like, this
it's-
is what I'm doing. Yeah.
It was kind of like what we were talking about the other day when we were saying, I can't remember really what led into the conversation, but like sometimes you don't allow yourself to be happy, or you're scared to let
Yes.
yourself to be happy. You know, like it's kind of like it's a weird, like fucked up, like letting yourself be a victim type of mentality.
Yeah.
You know, so like she just kind of like addressed that with me and was just like, you know, get the fuck over it, man. Shit sucks sometimes. You're moving up.
Get what
You
you
know
want.
what I
This
mean?
is what
Like,
you gotta do to get what you want. So get what you want.
Yeah.
And be okay that you got what you want.
yeah, you know what I mean.
All
And
right, what about you?
Honestly, mine is very similar to his. I think the best piece of advice I've ever been given is that Murphy's Law only applies to people who believe in it. It's one of those things that really you
Like
truly
superstition.
you wish into existence. You think it into existence. Like people who really believe that if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. It usually does for those people.
To consider what's always gonna go wrong is, pessimism. Like,
Right.
that is the definition of
Right.
pessimism.
It boils down
Granted,
to
cover your ass, but-
do you believe that well, it's kind of a chicken and egg scenario. Do you believe this pessimist that the reason that they're so pessimistic is because everything's gone wrong, or could it possibly always go wrong because
Or
they're so
is
pessimistic?
it? Do you believe in life
After love?
Yeah, that too. Well, you get what you here's my thing is you get what you plan for. You get what you plan for.
Sure, gets a little bit more than that.
Really
don't think it's enough now. I remember a girl I dated, dude. And I just remember that shit bring, like, I was like 18. I remember that shit bringing in my head like no one's advice ever had. She was like, "Please, when you feel like you really, 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 really have to say something, shut the fuck up."
Yo,
And
that
I
is
was just
excellent advice. Excellent advice. Because I can't think of a single time where I've ever really, really wanted to say
It
something.
was
And I
good.
didn't get me in trouble.
And it helped me in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah. Usually when you want to say something that bad,
But at the same time,
Yeah.
it's
Some shit you need to
because
say.
it's that bad.
that doesn't. It doesn't always apply because there's sometimes there's shit you got to get off your chest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's something that you really need to say to somebody, or like something that you wish you had said
And
to
that
somebody.
also pivoted me into like stop being a little bitch and wait until you're fucking upset about something and just say things.
Address it
You
when it's
say
a
shit.
problem.
Yeah.
And then you're not feeling that same way where it's like, oh, I need to say this because it's
Right.
like, no, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, I
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
That was-
Don't ever fight when you're angry. That's another. As far as especially with your now, this is more advice applied to relationships.
Yeah, you mean
Or
you mean
friends.
arguments, not like physical.
Yeah,
Right?
don't ever never argue when you're angry because
You say some
you
shit.
will not be able to apply logic to the situation. You're upset about the situation. I've always held true to a belief that no matter how fucking mad I am,
I still
at
love you.
my
I still
partner,
respect you. I still, yeah.
and I'm going to talk to you about this tomorrow when I don't want to
One
cuss
of
you
my
the fuck
biggest
out.
issues is I do kind of remain that calm because like I've said some awful things and I know you don't get to take them back.
Mhm.
So it's like for me, it's like, but you don't know that yet.
But isn't that the
You
worst
don't know
though?
that yet. So it's like you
When-
might say some crazy shit. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
But isn't that the worst though when you're like, all right, I'm not in a good state of mind right now. We need to come back to this conversation when I'm not as angry. And they're like, they won't let
No.
you. They're like, oh my god, I'm trying to do the right
We
thing.
need to work
Please.
this out.
Like, oh,
Dude,
I hate that.
That's-
Just gave me like a PTSD
that's why you
flashback.
gotta, man,
We need to
and
work
be
this out.
You gotta be a jiggery Jew. Jay-Z in the
Yeah.
elevator, bro.
Oh.
Jay-Z in the elevator. You gotta be so cool you can't lose it.
Yeah. No,
be so
you're
cool you can't lose it.
Yeah.
Bro. Don't be easily rattled or spooked. Like I'm a grown ass man. Why do I have to yell at you? I'm a grown ass man. Why do I have to scream? Like like I can say exactly what I need to say to you, just like this, without flailing my arms or yelling or raising my voice.
It's true.
'Cause I'm a
It's true.
grown ass man.
Well, I just like raising my voice. That's we all have our own ways, you know what I mean? I think the most important thing is to just if you
So you like yelling at your girlfriend?
no. Come on.
Yeah, man, what the fuck?
That's what you said. I don't know.
The point- I think the most important thing in any argument is to always consider your goal. And if your goal is to work something out, then you can't be hateful.
Mm.
If your goal is to get your point across and then buy, then say what you got to say. But you always have to consider, I'm going to wake up with this person. If you want to wake up with that person
Right.
the next morning, you always need to
And
consider what
there's
you're going to say.
another thing I think that drives me crazy about sorry for cutting you off, dude. That
No,
drives me
you-
crazy about like people, especially like, and I feel like women do this a little bit more, but it's only because they date women, I guess. But like they don't realize it's like everything's valid. Like whether you agree with what I'm
Right.
telling you or not, like my thought and my feeling is valid. Like her thought and her feeling is valid. It may not be what the fuck she's saying it is, but it's something like, at least listen to it. Like at least listen to it, hear it, bro, because it's still happening to me too. Like whether or not
I feel
wanna,
in the spirit.
Yeah.
That shit right
Hey,
there,
man.
though. That shit right
It's like,
there.
that's the thing I learned the hard way, dude, just by shitting on really good girls. Shitting on really good
Yeah,
girls that were
man.
telling me I was doing things. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. And then 2 years later, like, oh shit, I was doing the fuck out of that.
Acknowledge, you just acknowledge their feelings on the situation, whether you agree with them or not. Acknowledge you have to acknowledge that person's feelings. Otherwise, you are devaluing them. You're not only devaluing the feelings, you're devaluing them as a person. You know
I
what
actually
I mean?
might have to dip here in a
Meanwhile.
second,
Of course, dude.
because
You got-
fucking
I mean, you got
fucking
shit to do,
tiny
bro.
shit, yeah. But I'm actually gonna go and do it now since there's a little bit of a lull. So
Nah, you can't do it now, dude, because that's just fucking homosexual if you do it now.
Yeah.
That was some bitch ass shit, bro.
Well, then I guess it's also a
At
good
least
time to
make it
tell you guys.
Make it
um,
entertaining at least, bro. I need to dance.
That's cool.
something.
That's cool by us. That's why we keep you in the middle.
You gotta go to a 1-year-old's birthday party.
I'm gonna
do
go
hard.
She's gonna get my dick hard.
Yeah, he's got to go deliver some of that birthday D. Yes, I realize what I'm
I'm
saying.
just gonna go.
You want to go
I'm gonna go get
have a
drunk and
smoke
go to the
outside?
party.
Pause this for a little bit. Come
Yeah,
back.
have a pause, and we'll go smoke. Shit.
Yeah.
Guys?
Bye, friends.
We'll be back, guys. That's just gonna be our fucking
Mascot.
like
That's our screensaver.
returns. Yeah, dude.
We're gonna put a little monkey with a clock right above your head, like